It's Saturday night and hockey night here in Ice District as Rogers Place features two teams trending in opposite directions. The Carolina Hurricanes 2-1 overtime victory on Thursday. Sebastian Aho scored both goals, giving the Canes their third consecutive victory. As for Edmonton, they're looking to get back in the win column after dropping 4 straight games. Well, they'll have a tough task at hand tonight, going to get up against one of the best 5-on-5 teams in the National Hockey League. Welcome to the Oilers TV live pregame show. Thanks for making us a part of your morning. I'm Tony Barr. We're going to be hearing from defenseman Cody Ceci, forward Warren Foegele, also former Cane Warren Foegele, and head coach Dave Tippett in just a few moments. Stay tuned.
they haven't experienced this number of losses in a row, and just sort of what the feeling has been like in the room and your sense of everybody kind of keeping the waters calm.
Yeah, I think that's what we're trying to do as best as possible. It's nice to be back, obviously, around the guys, and ups or downs, it's just nice to be back in the rink. But I thought we played pretty well last game, and we're looking to build off that. We're not looking at the 4 games as a total. We're just taking one game at a time.
This isn't a team that you're going to see a ton of, but what are you starting for the show? What do you expect?
Yeah, they've come on really strong in the last couple of years. They're a good team, hard-working team. They just do a lot of the right things, so that's what we're expecting out of them tonight.
Go over here. Say, how are you feeling now since coming back? Are there any lingering effects or anything of that sort that you wrestling?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I mean, I had a few days of symptoms, and then from there I was able to start some at-home workouts, and then right out of quarantine I was able to skate once and then get right back into the game. So, yeah, I feel good now.
Anybody else?
Hold on. Just on that same vein, I guess, how long does it take to kind of find your legs when you just jump back into a game? And are you there yet? Are you starting to feel more comfortable on the ice?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't too sure. It was the first time getting it, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. But I mean, after the few days of symptoms, and I was able to just start working out at home, and then get right back on the ice. So it didn't take too long to find the legs. Lungs were a bit sore, but I mean, that's kind of expected. Even if you have a normal cold and you come back, your lungs are always they burn a little bit.
And you got some young guys in the lineup back there now, and obviously with Chris Russell out for who knows how long now. Do you feel your sense of responsibility kind of increases? Do you feel like you have to take it on a bit more? Do you just try and then play your game and not worry about kind of the rest of the situation?
Yeah, I think we're all just trying to play our own games and not worry too much about who's in and out of the lineup. They're all great players. They've all played great when they've been called upon. So we're not too worried about the young guys. I think it's more on the older guys to step up and take them under our wings and right this ship.
Just in the middle here. It looks like you're paired with William Legason today. What goes into approaching a game, making sure you're on the same page when you have a new defense partner?
Just talking to them, getting back, being open for them all the time, and yeah, just supporting each other as much as we can. Played with a lot of young guys over my career, and the best thing you can do is just get back, get open for them, and try and help them out by talking to them.
Do you ever have to find yourself having to change your game when you're paired with certain guys?
Not really. I mean, unless the guy's super offensive, I don't think I try and change it too much. Like, he's a good player. I played with him a little bit in camp, and he's just strong. He thinks the game well, and yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with him tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Today, what do you think this will be like for you to take on your old group and to see them for the first time out there?
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. It's obviously bittersweet a bit, but I'm excited to play these guys. And I went out to dinner with a couple of them last night and just to catch up. And but yeah, I've had this date circled for a long time, so super excited.
Can you compare the expectations that you brought with you here to Edmonton to where you are now, just in terms of the situation you came into, but also your own game and where you wanted to take it?
Yeah, I think this year's been a couple of ups and downs for myself, and I think the one thing I'm learning is just control what you can control. So I thought the last couple of games our line's been going here, and we just got to keep playing that way and build off it.
Over here. Is it human nature to compare yourself to the player you were traded for? Do you kind of keep track of how things are going there versus how things are going here for you?
No, not too much. I think we're all put in different situations, to succeed and stuff like that. So I think it's pretty hard to compare two players that play two different positions and different systems and things like that. So no.
You're not known to be an offensive a player, but you've been around it a whole bunch and haven't scored yet. How do you get over that line where these chances are starting to going in for you? And is it weighing on you a little bit?
Yeah, I think the good thing for us as a line is that we're creating more scoring chances. I think the first 10 games where we weren't, midway through the season, we weren't scoring, we weren't creating enough. And if you're not creating anything, then you're not doing something right. And Mac, Cass, and I, we've been creating some chem here. We finally have some consistent games together, and we're generating chances. So just got to keep doing that, and hopefully they fall in.
Warren, I think about scoring in your first couple of games, your mom and dad being there, and what you did in the Washington series. It's signature moments for me, for you as a Hurricane. What do you think about?
Yeah, I have nothing but great things to say about my time in Carolina. All those guys were great to me. I was a big fan of Roddy and everyone who treated me there, and made some really nice memories there. Those moments you mentioned were special to me and my family, and yeah, super excited for tonight though, moving forward, and it'll be fun to play my old team, right?
Did you see Svech?
I saw Svech last night. It was good to see him.
Warren, over here, you play in a Canadian market as opposed to playing in North Carolina. When you're not scoring, do you realize that the fan in Edmonton is looking at you saying, when's he going to score? Whereas if you could play and get lots of chances down there and not score, and maybe you could just play your way through it?
Yeah, kind of, what I said before. You just try to control what you could control, and I try not to pay attention to any of that stuff. And our line has been communicating a lot. We want to contribute, and we're doing the right things, and now it's about cashing in.
Thank you.
Just maybe a thought on Carolina and what you've seen from them this year. What kind of a challenge you think they present you?
Quick team, skilled, quick team. You know, they put the work in. They create a lot of havoc in the game with their speed. So it'll be a good test for us.
When you're on a few losses like this, I don't know if the temptation is there to shake things up or start moving things around a little bit more. Kind of take us through that thought process in your head about doing that versus maybe also coming out of it a little bit the last few games.
Well, I think we've played well enough to win the last 2 games, so you can go in there and tinker, or you can try to keep pounding away at what you're doing and see if you can find the results you want. And we've been kind of all over the place a little bit because of the injuries, especially on the back end. So we're trying to stabilize a little bit. So last game we thought we deserved a better fate in the game. Let's go see if we can try to find a better fate tonight.
Sorry, just a thought on that back end. Do you kind of lean more on guys like Ceci and some of the older guys now because you're still young, you look like you're getting healthy, and then obviously Russell goes down, and do you lean a little bit more on those guys?
Well, what veteran guys like that do, they stabilize your group, you know, and it's they just have a calmness about the game that they're not over their head in anything, and that calmness can help young players. You know, you put a young player with a veteran guy, and it seems to can settle down a little bit. But we've been really all over the place here because of the injuries, and then Rusty looks like he's going to be minimum a couple weeks now again. So I don't know what it is about our left side defense this year, but it's taken a hit like I've never seen before. But that's the way it goes sometimes, and you just have to read and react. But our veteran guys, you know, they get back in there. Like you saw, Ceci came back in. He's just a stabilizing guy in there, and that's what that's what you like to see from your veteran players.
Is Duncan Keith close? I know he was out there today.
He's close. He's close. He won't play tonight, but he's getting closer.
Kyler Yamamoto said at the beginning of the year he wanted to shoot more. I think he's got 28 shots in 25 games.
Yeah.
What do you want to see from them? I don't think he's got any shots in the last 2 or 3 games.
Shoot more.
Is he not getting into the positions, or he just doesn't want to shoot?
No, I think there's on that line there's a little more of a pass first mentality. We've been trying to get our group to have a lot more of a shot mindset, and we've got through. But Dry is a guy who he wants to hang on to the puck, and Yamo makes a lot of good plays to him. So that's where it's at. Now that being said, every player can get yourself in a position to shoot more, and that's something that we've been talking to Yamo about.
Thank you.
Dave, Warren is going up against his former team tonight. In your experience as a player, when you have a teammate going up against a former player going up against their former team, is there a little bit extra jump in their step in order to get them the win?
Yeah, I think that both him and Bearsy will be excited to play against him. I mean, it's especially the first time you get, as you go on, it wears off a little bit. But the first time, both players have only been in one organization, so they'll be excited to play both of them. I think you'll see great games out of both of them.
Are you getting what you expected out of Foegele? I know the goals aren't there, but the overall package, what he's...
The game he played last game was exactly what we're hoping for right there. I mean, he's around the net. He's hard to play against in front of the net, moving his feet, tenacious on the puck. Those are the things we're looking for. So hopefully he can build on that game the last game. They didn't get points, but they were around it all night. So hopefully that's a good sign of things to come.
There's been a lot of movement on that line. Is it more of a case of just finding some chemistry with 3 guys and maybe
a little bit? We tinkered around with it, but now they've been together two or three games now. Last game was the best game they played so far. So hopefully, like you say, we can continue to push them along, and if they can get rewarded with some of that work they're doing, it'll help the cause.
You've been trying to you've had to work in some young defensemen over on that left side. Looks like Lagesson tonight. Yeah. Just a thought maybe on Broberg's game and what he needs to do to be that every night guy that gets that spot, because I think the pedigree is maybe there, but he hasn't been able to lock that down.
Yeah, there's stages that young defensemen go through to be able to be good, consistent players. And when you first come up, you always see it. They first come up and they get that. There's a little bit of there's lots of juice in. They get going, and then the reality sets in, and this is a really hard league, and you got to get at it every night, and that consistency is something that young players have to learn. But he's, he's a great skater. He's a real knowledgeable kid. He just needs to get stronger a little bit. But this was a good, it was a good first bit for him here. We chatted with him here yesterday before he got sent down, and now he's back because of Rusty. But he's taken steps the right way. He's taken steps the right way, and he played well down there. He came in. We threw him in a really tough situation here where he probably got more, which ended up being good for him, got more because of the injuries. But now he recognizes how hard it is, and he recognizes how hard he's got to work to get back and to get up to a consistent level in the NHL. So hard spot for young players to find their way, but he's moving the right direction. All right. Thanks, guys.